Hi everybody, Richard Chapman here again at Artificial Lawyer TV. Today we're doing another product walkthrough with Kim. To tell us a bit more about it is Carl. Hey Carl, how you doing?
I'm very well, Richard, and it sounds like you've got a bit of a cold.
Slightly. Hope it'll be gone very soon. And no doubt it will be improved by hearing about what will be the second video all about Kim. So what's this second part about, Carl?
Well, in the first one, Richard, we showed how quick it is for an organization to take its existing letters, forms, records, checklists and automate them. And that's great because you can have self-service and document generation and the data as well as the documents. But actually, this is about, well, now you've generated it. What do you do with it? What are the options you have to share and collaborate one-to-one, one-to-many?
Right, fantastic. Very interesting. Well, I'll disappear and I will let you take it away.
Thanks, Richard. Much appreciated. So just as a very quick recap, you recall from video one that effectively all you do is you take a document, and in this case, it's the Corporate Transparency Act form, and you just tag it and upload it. So all we did in the first one, and it is that quick, no training required, is take an existing document and upload it. The key, of course, then is, well, what do you do with it? So on the screen, you have Kim in the browser, and you can be live in minutes. And as you'll see, there are 5 different things you can do. But the other thing to say to you before I get into showing you that is, actually, that's Kim in the browser. This is Kim in Teams. So if you are a Teams user, all you need to do is go to the Teams store and click on the appropriate icon, the Kim icon, obviously. And then this is Kim in Teams, utterly seamless. And so everything I'm going to show you, you could do without leaving Teams. But let's go back to the browser. So let's assume that I am, in this example, a law firm, and Richard, Artificial Lawyer Inc., is one of our clients. And Richard, you happen to need to comply with the US Corporate Transparency Act. So what would I do? I'm now in the law firm. Literally on the left-hand side, I just click Corporate Transparency Act. This is the form I'm going to send you, which actually will allow you to complete it. So I tell you what, let's just put your name in at the top, if I can spell it correctly. It is a Friday. Artificial Lawyer Inc. And then literally all I do is, this is the form you're going to be completing. I press submit. It will generate the first record here for me to share with you. And here's a preview of it. And then, as you'll see, it's created in this top screen, this new record, Artificial Lawyer, and I spelled lawyer with a capital A, but that doesn't matter. And now I can do various things with it. So, Richard, you are the client. Rather than me send you a Word document by email, actually I can do various different things. Number one, if I click to the action on the right-hand side, I could, of course, send it to you by mail. And if I send it to you by mail as a Word document with an appropriate note in here, this comes out of my 365 simple integration. So you know it's come from me, and you literally have that document to complete. And that's fine, and that's simple. And we see people use that as a use case. So number one, you could just send it by mail. Number two, though, you could do something more interesting. You could just share it. And if you shared this document with you, all I need to do is put in your email address. And now what you would receive is an email with a link and an access code. And when you open it, you would actually get this screen. So you'd get this screen without any of the items on the left-hand side because they're unique to my firm. Without any of the other records, you just get this record at the top. And I may have obviously put a note in here which actually says, Richard, please find attached following our conversation a copy of the Corporate Transparency Act form, please complete. And what can you do? Well, actually, at this point, you can actually download it, you can preview it, you can edit it. So actually, you can provide the information that's required. So number one, I could send it to you by mail. Number two, I could share it with you. And by the way, in sharing it with you, you get version control, complete version control. So if you downloaded it and amended it, when you check it back in, it actually comes back automatically into my screen as well as your screen. So you've got complete collaboration. And it's secure because when you check it out, Richard, I can't edit it and vice versa. So number one, you can send by mail. Number two, you can share. The third thing I could do, Richard, is make your life really straightforward by just sending you a link. So all I do is click on Actions, click on Send Web Form Update Link, put in your email address, and what happens is you now receive an email with a link and a unique code. And when you click on it, you don't see Kim, you just get the form. So all you would see is this form with the fields for you to actually complete. So your life becomes very straightforward. You can save drafts of this as you're going through, putting in the appropriate information. You can preview what you've completed once you put information in, so you can see where you are in terms of your entries. But having received that link, when you press submit, you receive an email saying, thank you very much. We acknowledge receipt of your response. Please find attached a copy for your records. And what we do is we get all of the information and data to make that filing for you, if that's what we've agreed that we're going to do. So number one, you can send by mail. Number two, you can share and collaborate using the screen, and the recipient doesn't need to download any software. They just get the appropriate screen. Number three, you could send a link, which makes it very easy for the recipient to provide the appropriate information, or indeed to actually mark up and amend that appropriate document through collaboration, check-in, check-out. Number four, what you could do, you could actually, and I'm going to explain this in more detail in the next video, what you could do is actually, if you're sending this to hundreds or thousands of your clients, so rather than me one to you, Richard, one-to-one, assuming I've got 1,100 clients that I need to send this to, all I do, having uploaded it into Kim, is click campaign and create a new campaign. And when I do that, it allows me to actually send this one-to-many and critically get all the information and data back in for complete analysis. And I can use that data to create other documents and records as well. So number one, having created the record, I can send it by mail. You'd expect to be able to do that. Number two, you could actually collaborate using share. Number three, you can send a link, very easy for the recipient just to provide the information. Number four, you can create a campaign and send it one-to-many, very powerful. And number five, which we're seeing a lot of use for, you could actually, if it's the appropriate form, you could publish it internally on your intranet. So literally, if you click publish web form link, what this allows you to do is actually receive the appropriate link and put it, for example, on your SharePoint site. So when anyone hit the link, up would pop the form, you complete it, the individual receives an email saying, thank you, we've got your response, please find attached your copy, and the data then comes back in for management. So we're seeing that for things like incident reporting, support requests, declarations, anything that requires people to provide information and actually use it appropriately. So very simply, Richard, and it is that simple. Once you've actually created a document in Kim that it's ready to automate by simply tagging and upload it, you can send by mail, you can share and collaborate and check in, check out. You can send a link for the recipient internally or externally to provide that information. You can create a campaign and go one-to-many, or you can publish that link on your internal intranet or the bottom of FAQs or on another system. So when anyone clicks it, it's available. So this is much more than just document automation. It's also about records management, about collaboration and sharing. And of course, which we'll touch on subsequently, any of the forms that you receive back can be used to create other documents. So again, imagine, Richard, if you were my client, I'm a private client lawyer. Imagine I'm helping you write your next will. I would actually send you an appropriate link. You complete the information, it comes back into me, and it could auto-generate that report back to you or the first draft of a will. So you can create other documents off the information you receive from the forms that people have completed. It's that simple.
Wow. No, I like the fact that you can keep on iterating based on those documents. It's a very nice aspect. I mean, to be honest, I mean, I think that's such a complete description. It's hard to ask any questions. Just one, if people are curious, this is all part of the overall product offering. This isn't an add-on. This comes with everything you do already.
Yeah, so it's all part of the Kim stack. So it's all part of the same code base. It's all part of the same data model. It's a standalone product in its own right. So people could just have this and not have the enterprise version. But if someone's already got the enterprise version, then these two work in sync. So the key to this product is that from our perspective and from customers' perspective, it was all about helping people get started, Richard, because the thing that we were seeing with the organizations that we work with, it's very hard to get started. It's almost like, this is too much like hard work. Well, now literally all you do is you take your existing documents, you tag them, you upload them, no training required, and you're away. I mean, we actually had a GC who actually wanted to prove to himself that actually it would work this quickly. Overnight, he actually did an internal cross-border form for his own organization, and it took him an hour. So it's really powerful to just, and it helps people get started. It takes away some of that challenge and complexity. And of course, it's priced to make sure it's easy for people to say yes, because it's well beneath any procurement thresholds.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you, Carl. Well,
Pleasure.
let's prepare ourselves for the third part of the Kim trilogy, which we will be publishing very, very, very shortly after this video. But all I have to say right now is thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Richard. And the only thing I'd say is that unfortunately the Kim trilogy is not as good as the Bourne trilogy, but hey, that's another matter.
But maybe as good as Lord of the Rings.
Ah, now we're talking. Lord of the Rings, now we're talking.
Okay.
Take care.
Take care.